Hello. So, this is going to be a quick little story time, I guess. Kind of tired, kind of drained. I had to do some energy work and basically a blessing over a friend of mine's house over the last couple of days. So this is spiritual warfare story time. This by no means was not my first encounter, and certainly probably won't be my last. Hell, I've had several just since I've been in this rehab. So, long story short, a good friend of mine went and picked up some belongings of another mutual friend. The place that this mutual friend had been staying, we'll just say energetically, was not clean at all. At all. Nothing too intense or severe. Pretty low vibrational. But definitely fed on fear, anxiety, things like that. So yeah, I had to go over and, like I said, do some energy work. The long and short of it was, I had to ask. I had to have this person give me verbally out loud spiritual authority over their house. That was step one. Step two was to get that authority from the Most High. Once that was done, it's a pretty straightforward process after that. Very authoritative declaration of ownership of the energy in and around the house, asking for protection. Calling upon certain names, certain angels, and Jesus himself to rebuke and remove said energy. That in of itself is pretty self-explanatory. Nothing extravagant there. I know a lot of people don't believe, but I've spent a lifetime with many such encounters since a very young age. What was interesting about it was me realizing how much protection I do actually have, more than I even realized, because it couldn't even really touch me, didn't want to, actually would kind of avoid me, which is an experience I've had recently too, in the last year or so. Several different individuals who've come through this rehab and other people I've met will come in with certain attachments. And the thing about attachments, or hitchhikers as some like to call them, is the host has to have a willingness to allow it to be there. You know, the Most High and the Most Low, their agreement is that they do not directly interfere with free will. However, if said person is allowing or willing to surrender their will to one or the other, or both, or whatever, then and only then can the will be more directly guided, we'll say. You also have to have to be at a vibrational or energetic match to whatever your attachment may or may not be. And that's the important part here is, I cleared the house. It didn't take me too long. It wasn't super intense. I may have to go back for another session or two, because I cleared it the day before and it came back in through an upstairs window. So I, protected all thresholds and openings and all this other stuff. And hopefully it is more permanently removed this time. But the first night after I had done the first clearing, I obviously pissed it off. They have a habit of doing that. Because when it did come back in, 2 people in the house actually got physically sick from it. A lot of people don't realize that. How energy and spiritual attacks and stuff will and can make you have physical symptoms. I've experienced it myself. That's another video for another time. But yeah, the important part there is the willingness and the frequency. One of the things I told this person was, they're, for the most part, they're sober. They're not an alcoholic or an addict like I have been or other people I know. They can actually have one drink and set it down and be cool, But I told them, don't drink for at least 24 hours or so, because it lowers your frequency. It lowers your energetic defenses, as it were. But it's just like a radio station, If your frequency's at a certain level, you're going to, because in the metaphysical and the spiritual and the energetic, likenesses attract. Only in the physical realm do opposites attract. And there's some crossover areas, some gray areas there. Nothing is truly black and white. There's a spectrum on everything. And that's what I call the third side of the coin, and I'll do a video on that yet too. At any rate, if you lower your frequency, you're inviting anything that resonates at that said frequency. And especially if you live in the ego, because you're in a constant state of reaction or survival mode and whatnot, and if you're not listening to your intuition, your soul is crying out for certain experiences and certain guidance. Well, the universe and any and all energy around you is going to provide you opportunities to find that guidance from within. But if you don't hear it, if you don't listen to that intuition, that soft inner voice, that nudge, that gut instinct, you're susceptible to be guided by whatever is around you, whatever talks the loudest. Sometimes that's actual people and their opinions. Sometimes it's dreams, sometimes it's nudges, sometimes it's the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. The true art is discernment. So, anyway, I'm a little tired because of that, so I'm going to take a day or two to rest and rejuvenate. And I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see how it goes. The second night, I asked them today how everything went, and pretty much for the most part, everyone slept well. One of the people in the house was still kind of sick, but they're getting over it pretty quick. But everyone else actually seemed to have a good night's sleep. No nightmares, no strange noises in the middle of the night, none of this stuff. So it was a good thing. So we'll see how it goes. That's all I got for tonight. Like I said, I'm tired. You can probably see it on my face. Blessed be.